Hi, my name is Brooklyn Connor. I'm with Carlson & Co. Real Estate, and we are with Cassie Kennedy today, who is part owner of Freedom Real Estate, and they have an awesome 4-person team. We're going to go over a little bit about her story, how she got here, where she's going, and then what she has seen in the industry. So, Cassie, tell me a little bit about like how you got started, where, like, obviously you haven't been in real estate since day one, so tell me about yourself.
Yeah, so Chad, it's crazy. Chad's been in sales forever. Like, Chad is
your husband.
My husband, owner, founder of Freedom Real Estate, right?
Creative director, employee of the month.
Yes.
Janitor.
Accountant.
Yeah.
He's the worst. I'm about to fire him on that. But
head of HR.
That's me. Wait, no. I'd have to fire myself. Oh, you gonna make it?
Yeah, I think so.
You got it?
We really gotta up the production budget. Okay.
So, it was a perfect storm. He'd been talking about leaving his current sales job. He was at Lone Wolf Harley Davidson.
Selling Harley Davidson?
Oh, yeah.
How many did you guys have?
Slanging bikes. So
7.
We had, I'm going to go with 3.
At the height.
So he went from one to another to another. So we started with a Sportster, then went to, I don't know anything about motorcycles.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
So I was like, no, that's
3.
okay.
We had 3.
It's just like one of those things like I worked in fashion before I was in real estate.
Uh-huh.
And like endless. Like there's no number. I don't know. The limit does not exist of how much I accrued in 7 years.
Yeah. So we had motorcycles. And he just got tired of making money for other people. And so he wanted to make his own money. And then I was a barber.
What?
I was a barber. I still have my cosmetology license, do a little bit of Cassie's kitchen cuts for the family.
So you guys were not affected by the pandemic?
Well, I was in recruiting at the time. So
no, but like no one could get a haircut for like 6 months because of the pandemic. Do you remember that?
I followed all the rules, and there were no people coming to my house.
Just your husband. Got it. Okay.
So yeah, just family, just immediate
just people
family,
who lived under your roof.
Yeah, exactly. So the perfect storm. He was doing sales, and I was just floundering. I'm like, I love cutting hair. It's easy.
I bet you liked like the social interaction of it.
Absolutely loved it.
You're like, yeah, I love like spilling. I mean, there is hairdressers, nail techs, eyelash people. They hold all the secrets in Spokane.
Oh my gosh, right?
They know everything.
Yes, and I always got the grumpy people for some reason. You know, like they would go, they would go to all the different barbers and they're like, I hated that girl. They could never cut my hair right. I was like, I'm probably going to cut your hair wrong too, but guess what? We're going to have a good time, right? So, I've been in the Air National Guard for 19 years now. And then, I was a barber at the time, and there was an opportunity to become a recruiter. Again, social, sales, like,
yeah.
I'm selling the Air National Guard, and what a great opportunity it is. And so I got that job, which was an amazing salary for me, a great place for us.
And this is all meanwhile, Chad is leaving Lone Wolf, becoming a real estate agent. You became a recruiter?
No, I became a recruiter, and we'd saved up some money because, I mean, adulthood, right?
Yeah.
And so he goes, well, I'm gonna do it. So he literally quit, took 3 months to do all the schooling, the hours or whatever, and to study for the test. And I went to recruiter school so he could do his schooling for real estate. And then I went to school for recruiting. He could take care of the kids. It was just like the perfect storm, perfect timing. Okay. So, I was a recruiter for 5 years, and he was like bugging me for my last year of recruiting. He's like, hey, I'm getting too busy. I'm too big for my britches. And so he asked me to come on, and I was like, okay, like.
And how long had he been in real estate by the time he was like, hey, come be part of this with me?
4 years, because
4 years.
we started at the same time, right?
Okay, yeah.
So,
Which, how, I see a lot of, like, couples have an aspiration to work together, but the reality is, like, I don't even know the statistic, but, like, typically it's not great. My parents own a company together, and, like, they make it work, and they are a great team. You and Chad, if you guys do not follow Cassidy and Chad on TikTok or social media, you need to, because they are hilarious. That's how
I have to.
that's how I, like, came across them, and I was like, there's no way these people live in Spokane. And I'm like, oh wait, they do live in Spokane. Oh, and they're part of our brokerage. But you guys, you really do, like, you work very well together. You can see it at the office. It's like you guys are a perfect balance of, like, yin and yang.
That's what I tell everybody. Like, he's just the other half to my...
And the things you can get him to do on camera, I mean, like, he must really like you. So
he does.
He does.
Yes.
Okay, so he's like, hey, come be part of this. You're like, okay. You go to...
No, I wasn't like, okay. I was like, I am a strong, independent woman. I have my career.
I don't need you.
I am doing this, right? And
Yeah, okay.
so he was like, you're really stressed out. And he's like...
Your eyes twitching. You're like, no, I'm not.
Exactly. I'm like shaking my anxiety meds and my antidepressants. I'm like, I'm fine.
I like a good rhythm.
Are these chewable?
If you crush them up with your dino nuggets, you can't even taste them.
Exactly. Little dip. So I started.
Did you do Rockwell?
I did.
Yeah.
I did Rockwell, and I put it off, and then I finally, I just bit the bullet, and I put in my notice. And being in the military, we have leave, so I had so much leave saved up. Again, let's talk about another perfect storm. Because of the pandemic, like, we didn't take leave, so we accrued a lot of leave, which is basically vacation hours for you civilian styles. And so I had all of that saved up, and they let it carry over again because of the pandemic. So I was like, all right, like, I quit. I love you girls. I love the team. I love you boys. You know, I loved my team that I worked with, but it was just so stressful. And it was just stress that I was putting on myself. So...
And you're still kind of a part of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still in the Air National Guard. I'm at the 242 Combat Communications Squadron. I do supply. So
That sounds so cool.
I can count really high and drive a forklift.
There you go. That's my girl. I was like, you tell me what you do, and I will hype you up.
Yes. And honestly, so, yeah, this is a real estate podcast, right? So if there's anybody that was ever interested in going into computer related stuff like IT, it's a huge industry, right?
Yeah.
So the unit I'm in is just IT.
Well, and, like, honestly, like, speaking of real estate, like, you know, there's a lot of people that get stationed at Fairchild, which is where you were at. You know, VA loans are incredible opportunities. Like, you kind of probably came in with another perfect storm of, like, a resource of, like, an organic CRM, if you will, of, like, potential clients, which, like, most people when they're starting, they maybe have, like, a couple of friends who are thinking about buying, like, if they're lucky, maybe a family member, but really it's just like, just carving out. It's just like digging your hole.
Oh, yeah. I can tell you, like...
And you guys do
That's
quite a
my
bit
biz.
of VA.
Oh, yeah. It's 85% of our business.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is we used our VA, when we used our VA loan the first time, how do we choose our agent? A referral from a friend.
Yeah.
That's how people find their agent, right?
Absolutely.
So we were like, cool, we gotta research it. Like, hey guys, guess what? Your realtor works for you. You are employing a realtor. Interview.
Yeah.
Like,
please do not, you don't pick up the first apple at the grocery store. You, like, pick it up, you look at it, you're like, man, this one doesn't look as good as this one. Like,
absolutely. You gotta, like, barber, right? Being a barber.
Except Cassie was like, listen, I will do a much better job selling you a house than cutting your hair.
No, well, I don't know.
No, come
I'm gonna
on,
have to
you're-
compete on it.
Yes,
Like,
you're great though.
I can sell the shit out of a house, but I can also cut the shit out of some hair. Oh, can I curse on your podcast?
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't even ask before we started because
No, Casey will like bleep out the stuff that's not important, and he'll like chunk it up too. So
Oh, okay.
he'll, you know, the really
Thanks, Casey.
serious stuff he'll put on X-Files, and then, you know, Dino Nuggets and antidepressants will go in another file.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so you are so you are now 2 years with your husband. You guys in the last like 30 days have added 2 new people to your team, which
Yes.
I feel like you're just kind of like a natural leader. Obviously, you have some like ability to train people, recruit, and I do think people are either a leader or they're not. I don't think you can really teach someone to be a leader. I think you can teach somebody to like take some more initiative, hopefully over the course of time, but like it's kind of either in you or it's not. And I'm sure you can say more, but like these people that you guys are adding, they just kind of, I feel like, mesh with the rest of what you guys have going on.
For sure. And we're not going to let anybody on the team that's not going to mesh well. Like, Chad and I are both pretty strong personalities. Chad's better. I think he's better at dealing with crappy situations.
He is like super analytical. Like, and
Yes.
it's very like, he can just kind of look at something and dissect it. Like, yes, no, good, bad, gray area. Like
And
everything goes
yes.
into like a box with him.
And he can talk me off of a bridge,
Yeah.
you know? When stuff starts to go sideways, I'm like, burn it all down. And he's like, hey.
It's fine. It was honestly just a molehill, not a mountain. You're like,
Yeah.
it feels like a mountain though.
Yeah. And he's amazing. So
You entered in real estate just like roughly the same time I did. And it was like, it's just funny, right? Because like when I entered, I'm sure there's people who had been in the industry longer than I. That's like, you know, they're telling me like, you have no idea like this market. And now people are entering now, and I'm like, you have no idea this market. Like it's always a trickle down. Like when I started real estate, it was in the time where a house went live Thursday. If you did not call that day to get a showing, you were not showing that house.
Yep.
And then you were gonna have to go back to your clients and be like, well, we can write it sight unseen. Like, what do you, like, we can drive by it. Maybe we'll just wait and like squeeze in between someone showing. Like, It was like eat or be eaten. Like, it was so wild.
Yes.
And now, like, you know, you put a house up and someone books a showing, like, you put a house up on Monday, right? You don't even have to follow this like perfect algorithm. Like houses have to go up Thursday night.
Shoot, that's how it was a couple years ago.
Yeah, if you did
now,
not, you had to put up Thursday night so that the first showing started Friday. You showed Friday, Saturday. You reviewed Sunday night. There was like 50 showings, 300 offers. It was insanity. Now you put a house up on Monday and people are like, yeah, can I show it next Thursday? And I'm like, can you come literally any day before then?
Right? Like, I do want to sell this house.
Yeah.
Within like
I can actually order something off of Amazon faster than you showing this house, which is saying something because like 3-day shipping with Amazon is gone.
Girl, thank you. So frustrating. I'm like, what am I paying for?
Yeah, if you subscribe and save little button, then sometimes you get it faster. But now I'm like, then I forget to turn it off, and now I have like 27 bottles of dry shampoo in my house because it's just on auto delivery.
Yep.
And I'm like, I should probably cancel that. It's fine. Just putting it in different drawers.
I guess I can donate this.
I just won't wash my hair for 3 years. It's gonna be fine.
You'll look like the have you seen the Jasper TikToks?
Who's Jasper?
The Jasper doll?
I feel like I'll look like those Cabbage Patch dolls with the fluffy hair. No, troll dolls, like a troll doll. You know how their hair like won't go down?
I'll send you a Jasper doll
Okay.
TikTok.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Okay, so here where you are now, you guys also you're doing all of this and you have 2 kids.
2 kids, 3 dogs.
3 dogs.
Your best friends?
Yeah, dogs are cool. And then you guys are building out this team. What is your guys' goal? Like, what are you working towards?
Well, all of our houses that we have purchased and sold have been fixer-uppers. So currently,
You want to buy a new home?
we're fixing our house. We love our house. We love our neighborhood. We love our neighbors. We love our schools. It's awesome. We just bought an old ass house in a good neighborhood, which
Did it have character?
I mean,
It's like the code word for like.
is a 79 split level got character? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, sister. Popcorn ceilings? Num 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 num.
Chad, that's all you, boo. You do that. You're like, I'll paint out pink colors. And
I did. Shout out to Bear, Home Depot
always,
Bear,
Always Bear.
Campfire Ash. If you want the perfect grays, say goodbye to your cool grays.
What
you
was
need
that,
a grayish.
What was that gray that everyone was using in 2021? It was like
Oh gosh.
relatable gray, agreeable gray.
Agreeable gray.
Yeah, relatable gray.
Agreeable gray. No,
Yeah.
she's gone.
Yeah.
She's last year. Grayish is the color this
Grayish.
year. So, yeah, we're just slowly fixing up our house.
And when did you guys buy that one?
Ooh. This July will be 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, she's a turd, and we be polishing it
Constantly.
Yes.
My parents had got this house in Kokomo, which is like a little like suburb area in the valley that is doesn't have any ACCNRs or HOAs, but it's just like it's a really cool place to grow up as a kid. Blocks and blocks of like riding your bikes and it's filled with kids. They bought this mid-century-ish house, 4-level.
Oh,
1, 2, 3, 4. Super old. Also, the people who lived there before my parents were like doomsday preppers. So there was like secret doors everywhere and like hidden safes.
Ooh.
And like a very homemade security system, like just super unique. So over the like probably 8 years we lived in that house, my parents had like slowly gutted everything.
Mm-hmm.
And as they would like gut things, just like more stuff would like come out of the woodworks. Like the like they were like, we're gonna redo this like front entry area, and they're peeling up the old carpet, and underneath it is like legitimate brick, like
oh my god,
firehouse red brick. I was like, what is this?
What's happening?
They had this like built-in fern by the front door, like built in, like you couldn't move it. My mom was like, I really want to get rid of this. It's such an eyesore. They like lift it up, and underneath it is a safe.
Oh.
Yeah, just that house was funky.
But what was in the safe?
I don't know. I didn't look. I was 8. I was just like, can we go outside and play?
Mom. Dad.
I guess I could call her.
I need a text. At least text them. I need to find out by the end of this.
God. And then outside there was like this patio area, but it was like metal fenced in.
Okay.
And it had like this cement that was like squishy. So it wasn't really cement. It was probably like a plasticky kind of
like turf.
Yeah, but
like
not turf.
Like a track.
No, like I don't know how to 100 layers of paint kind of feeling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm here for that.
Yeah, super weird. And then there was like carpet on the deck. I remember.
Sexy.
Yeah, it was just really weird. And then the basement was underneath the garage. And then the garage in the basement there was like 3 miniature doors that all led into like different storage rooms.
It's probably a full-size door for me. I'm 4'11". 4'10" and 3/4. Who are we kidding?
On a good day.
Yeah.
I love when I show people who may or may not be sufficiently taller than me. I am like 5'1". Yeah.
Or so she says.
Yeah. My license says I'm 5'3". My dad says I'm 5'5" with cleats.
Hell yeah.
At a distance in the outfield. And we'll be like, the South Hill has like those like makeshift finished out basements, right? That are usually like maybe like 6 feet tall or 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Ugh. And you're in there with like someone taller, and they're like, I don't know if this is gonna work. They're like their neck is like tilted against the ceiling. And I'm like, why? I think it's great.
Yeah, I can totally dust it.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, you don't need to stand up straight. You slouch anyway. Don't worry about that.
I'm like climbing the aisles at a grocery store to get the can at the top, and I'm like, what's up here?
Oh my gosh. That makes me sad that my son's growing up, because could I ask somebody? Absolutely. But do I gotta look cool all the time? So I have my small son. I would lift him and pop him up on my shoulder. And I'm like, buddy, grab that. Or like, reach back there and grab that. Now he's 11. He's my size.
He's like elastic arms, and it's just like, got it, Mom.
I have to bring my 17-year-old. She's 5'9". She can reach anything.
My sister married into a family of 7 brothers, and like the shortest one is like 6'1".
Oy.
Yeah, we like our families in our like are well intermixed, and it's just like Connor girls, Martin boys.
Yeah. Is that
That is
where the nieces come in? Your
yes,
niece?
yeah. So
She's gonna be so tall.
oh, she's 1 right now, and we call her Big Baby because she's a big old baby.
Big baby.
Big Baby, and Big Baby has like 3 breakfasts a day.
Heck yeah, get it, girl.
She has grazing boards. Just fancy way to say snack.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Baby. What's like your favorite home style to go look at? Mid-century split levels?
Absolutely. Yes, yes. If it's made past 1984,
Fancy.
shut the door. No.
Shag carpet, my best friend.
Only if there's snacks left in it. No. I do love a mid-century modern. Oh, the lines.
The architectural, like, sunlight coming in like a good mid-century modern. There's a good one out on Carousel where, like, the natural light that comes in from a good...
Is that the oh, God, it was, like, all white.
Yeah.
I bumped the mic there. I did not get to see that one in person. Is it still listed?
Yeah, it's still listed.
Uh-huh.
But it like
we should go.
Mid-century modern homes are like made to like capture a lot of light.
Yes.
They typically have some pretty cool like specific architectural needs to them. Really good wood, like amazing wood. I'm like, no one paint that white. You paint that white, and I'm coming for you.
It breaks my heart. I showed this. God, where were we? South Hill, Cannon Hill area.
Yeah.
There's just this one little pocket. And this house is, it reminded me, it's a mid-century modern tree house.
Oh my God.
So the road's down here, but then it goes around and the entry is at the top of this hill. So this house is like basically built into the side of this hill. And there's 3 levels. So at the bottom, there's room for a shop. They're actually putting a shop in there. And so I'm looking at the house across the street and with my client, and she goes, but I really like that one. And there was a tiny little U-Haul out front. And she was like, they got a U-Haul. Do you think they're moving? I was like,
yes.
oh, girl, I'll go ask.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not scared. So the guy comes out, and I was like, excuse me, sir. He was like, we're not moving. He goes, I have nowhere to put anything because it just had a carport. Yeah. Adorable. He goes, no, I'm just doing some updates. And I go, oh. And he goes, do you want to see? We were like, absolutely. Right?
The coolest thing when you're door knocking is you're like, invite me into your house. Not in a weird way. Not in a weird way. I just want to see what's inside.
Right? Oh my gosh.
It's also like the stamp of like being in real estate for a sufficient amount of time when you're like driving through a neighborhood and you're like, been in that house, offered on that house, sold that house. Door knocked that house. Mm-hmm. Didn't love me yet.
Yet, exactly. Oh, yes. She's dying over here. Yeah. So yeah, mid-century modern, but I do love the old South Hill homes. Like,
yes,
it just reminds me of like a home from Peaky Blinders or something. I'm currently watching the series, so
I only watch it when it's on at Volstead Act. Oh, it plays in the background, and it doesn't ever have sound on it. Peaky Blinders, so it's just literally the show. So I don't. I'm
terrible at trying to hear like a show with the accents. I'm like, what? Whereas like if I'm face to face with somebody, I can see their mouth and like see their body language. Like, but the TV show, I always have to have
subtitles. I want subtitles on everything. I want subtitles on a Tuesday morning meeting with Keith.
Oh my gosh, right?
I want subtitles like constantly.
Yeah. One more time.
Yeah.
And, a replay.
And so you can get subtitles on FaceTime on your phone.
Oh, nice.
When you FaceTime somebody. And it does a pretty good job, but then also sometimes horrifically wrong. Like, not even close to what they said.
You're like, no.
Yes. The older homes in Spokane, I feel like, is, like, what captures a lot of people. And they like, love it. But again, it goes back to that whole character thing. Like, they have some things. Sometimes they have to polish a shiny turd.
And that's the thing. And you really have to control... I'm going to say it. you have to control your client sometime because they're like, I want to go see this. And I'm like, cool. Whether it's the top of their budget or like in the middle of their budget, I'm like, hey, before you commit to this, you better have a contractor ready to go.
Or just have a discussion. Just be like, hey, these are things that like may not need to be mitigated day one of living there. But the reality is this home was built in 1910. She's 112 years old, 113 years old, and like she might need some TLC.
Absolutely.
But I get it because you like it is like homes built older, they have front door, curb appeal, adorable.
It's the porches.
They have like hardwood floors. They have amazing built-ins. They have like just some really cool character.
The banisters, the storage seating in the windows.
Yeah. And then you go look at a new construction home and you almost are like, oh, it's like sterile.
They are very sterile.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're two very different like situations, but and I think that is sometimes the hard thing because like I'm a relationship realtor. Like I genuinely care about my clients getting what they need and they want, and I want to give them what they need and they want.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also not super always emotionally invested in the specific house, just in the client.
Absolutely.
Which I think you have to be.
You do. And another thing as a realtor is you have to realize that it's not your money. It is not your money.
Mm-mm.
If they want to spend all their money, all you can do is advise, educate and advise and point things out.
Show them the numbers that you can get from the lender.
Mm-hmm.
We work with the same like mortgage team, and I think that like when you're working with a buyer or a seller, it's not just like you and them. It's you and the lender and maybe your escrow agent. Like this is not like you can't do it all.
Mm-mm.
You have to have a really good team behind you, and all you can do is provide information and let them make their own decision.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Sometimes you want to like squeeze them and be like, just do it the way I want you to do it, but you can't.
Well, you hear their story,
Mm-hmm.
and you've painted this picture. You've got this picture in your mind of what they want and what they need.
Yeah.
But then they're over here, and you're like, no, come back on over here. Yeah. This is where you were originally, but now you're way out here in the field.
Yeah,
like,
you said you wanted,
back.
Chicken, and you're over here chowing down on a piece of pizza, which is also delicious.
Correct.
But let's go back over here.
Get on some chicken.
We need protein.
Bok.
We need roofs and doors and windows, floors.
Oh my God. Yes. You were like, I want energy efficient. And then they're like, look at these beautiful leaded windows. I'm like, no.
Hey, you know how you said you wanted to have Wi-Fi? We're in Ford, Washington. We might not get the Wi-Fi out here.
We are in a ravine right now.
We're like, we just want to be a touch out of Spokane. We're like 2 minutes from the Canadian border at this rate.
I just went to Canada.
Yeah, you had
it's a drive.
Your girls' trip. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would rather fly to Canada.
It's only a couple hours. Girls' trip? Oh my gosh.
I don't like being in a car.
Oh no, we had the Spotify going and we sang and we
In
giggled.
theory, all this sounds really fun.
And
okay, I found this on the web.
Okay,
this sounds really
Siri.
fun.
Siri, whoa! No one asked you.
I have anxiety about that as well. Like, yes, I would love to fly, but I threw my sanity to the wind and I did it and I loved it.
I don't like driving, which is funny because I'm a realtor and I drive like 50,000 miles a year sometimes.
I get car sick.
I just like, there's too many other things going on. Like, I really want to be on my phone and like answer text messages and phone calls. And then I'm like looking at the GPS. But then my body's navigation tells me to turn left, even though the GPS tells me to turn right. I'm like, but my body's telling me to go left. Courtney's like, this is why it takes you 20 minutes to get everywhere longer than what the GPS tells you. Because your body is telling you to go the other way.
We're going this way.
Sometimes we're like, I know exactly where I'm going. I don't need to put this in the GPS. And then I'll be like, where am I? Where did I go wrong?
Yes.
I don't know. It's funny because I always go into these podcasts with a plan, like a serious plan and an outline, and then, like, honestly, gratefully, the conversation just organically takes turns and rights and lefts and whatever.
For sure.
But I wanted to ask you like what it feels like to be working with your partner and like roses, thorns that come with all that.
Oh my goodness. Roses. We get to talk real estate all the time. Like,
Yeah.
and I love it.
Yeah.
You know, and
he gets it. You know, sometimes when you talk to people out of the industry,
yes.
they don't get it. And you're like, no, it doesn't work that way. And then you have to spend like 40 minutes backtracking on why it's frustrating.
Yes.
At least with Chad, like he gets it.
He does. He's so great. And the thorn is when I have an idea. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this idea. And he's analytical. We've already talked about this. And he pokes holes in it. And I'm like, bitch, just say it's a good idea, okay?
Stop yucking my yum.
Yeah. I'm like, son of a gun. You're right. I just want you to acknowledge that.
Just like let it be how about you let me find out if it's a bad idea?
Yes, let it be a good idea.
And then if it is a good idea, I won't even rub it in your face for more than 10 minutes.
Yes, exactly. Well, and then so we have a buyer consultation, and I went to Fair Housing, and they're like, hey, if you have a printed buyer consultation or whatever, listing consultation, you better have something about fair housing in there.
Yes.
And I told him, I was like, bruh, we need to put this in here. And he was like, stay away. I'm like, yeah. So I put it in there.
Yeah.
And he was like, great idea. That looks great. And I was like, you said, you're right. You're right, babe. It's amazing.
You have to like let it be their idea sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's totally fine. But it's fun that we can have these little bickers. Like, I can straight up have a fight with him.
Yeah.
With the other people on the team, like, I have to have, a little restraint.
Yeah.
I can't just go.
Yeah. Difference of opinions.
Yes. I can't cry in front of him and be like, you're a fucker. Wait, you're a jerk.
You're a jerk.
I don't like you.
I don't work with my husband because I don't have one, but
do you want to borrow one?
No, but I work with my brother, and it is like it's like things have to be his idea, or we're both like very passionate individuals, probably much like you and Chad. But yeah, it's just like when you're kind of like already in so deep on a relationship stance with someone that you're working with, it's like it's either gonna make you guys come more together or further apart. And I think you guys have like withheld the statistics of it not working and people not being able to do the same thing in the same industry.
Yeah. No, we have fun. And I just love it.
I just love it.
I get to see my husband all day, every day if I want,
Those flip-flops and jean shorts, man.
The Vans and the flannels. Girl, I just bought my son some new Vans. I almost wore them today just for you, but he took the ones I wanted to wear. So
I don't know. It's like I have like just a few icks. I've added a new one too. I have a small
book. Gimme.
I have a small book on my desk that says pet peeves. It's like it's the same brand. I buy like two brands of notebooks. One is called like the Knock Knock Inner Truth, and then one is called the Simple Journal. And lately my new ick is when someone pulls out like a debit card or a credit card and it's just like worn way too down. Like, just replace that. I don't know why, but it drives me insane.
I want to keep it until they send me a new one.
No, get a new one.
No.
Also, yeah, grown men wearing Vans, can't do it. I don't know why. I just feel like they're gonna get dirty. You're gonna have to replace them in 3 days.
Right.
And then a grown man chasing after a ping pong ball. I can't.
That's what you were saying.
I can't. I have to look away. Like, I can't deal with it.
Okay, so the ping pong ball is running away.
Yeah.
Just let it go and then go pick it up?
I don't know. Make someone else go do it. You're like I'm talking like you're out of college. You're like edging towards 30.
Yeah.
You get the younger person on your team to go pick it up, or just the person I'm not interested in to go pick it up.
Just let it go.
I just don't want to see some grown man running after a ping pong ball.
I hear you. And
then it's like slippery, and so then they can't even like catch it. It's like, God, it's like, come on. As I'm painting the picture, you're like, yeah, okay, not the most attractive quality in a man.
Yes.
Do you have some icks?
A man chasing after a puppy that has stolen your TV remote. That's
your husband?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, our puppy. She
You
steals
guys
everything.
do have a really cute puppy.
She is a ham. She's a ham.
Who's her favorite? You or Chad?
Mama.
Oh, okay.
For sure, it's me. This morning, oh my gosh, I'm getting ready.
Who didn't want her? Who wanted her less? I should say.
Oh,
because
neither.
I feel like the dog typically ends up liking the person who didn't want them as much.
I feel like we equally wanted her.
Okay.
So we got Blue a few years ago, and then the parents had another litter. And I was like, oh, look, they had another litter. Look how cute they are. You know, I was like, ooh, let's get another puppy. And he was like, no. And I was like, yeah, you're right. That's silly. Then a couple days later, he's like, what about them puppies? So
I can see Cassie being like, hey, I'm just going to run to the store and get fish. And Chad's like, all right, Cassie, do your thing. And then you come back with the dog and be like, I named this dog Fish. Look at it.
This is Fish. I would do something like that. Yeah. I would just bring home a dog.
Do you have like any instant icks about people?
Oh gosh. Okay.
Like Whitney Cummings is like talking to somebody and they have like dried skin on their lip.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I will point stuff out though.
Point stuff.
Like, oh, you got a thing
in your eyeball,
right? Like, oh, you got a thing. Because I'd hope that somebody would do that to me. You know, your pants are unzipped.
Oh.
I was not staring at your junk, but your pants are unzipped. You know.
You know,
how about an ick in real estate? My ick in real estate
Yeah.
is not an updated photo.
Oh my gosh, I was just talking about this.
So we're going to update ours. Mine is 2 years old, but I feel like I kind of look pretty similar to it. You know?
I think that you should update your profile picture, whether you're in real estate or selling fish. You should update your profile picture every year.
Yes, I agree with you. And we're behind. We were going to, but then we had some changes.
Also in our industry, like you're typically hiring a professional photographer to come in, right? So
I hope so.
When we have when it happens at Carlson & Co., first we have to find a day that works for all 26 of us.
Oh, I didn't.
Then we have to find a place, and then we think about like the time and the weather, and we like to take photos outside.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're like playing the weather game.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like those two things already are really hard. And then if you're like, oh, we're actually onboarding 2 people next month, we don't want to get these photos done, we want the new people to be in there, then you post photos out, and then like you wait the month to get the new people on the team. And the weather.
You got this, girl.
It's like kind of orchestrating a perfect storm. Like I get it.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, if you can get one branding session done a year, I give you gold star.
Yes.
Anything after one, you're doing it.
So, when I was a recruiter, it was like, be there, be square.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, you're not there? You deal with it on your own.
Yeah.
On your own. You're not in the group photo?
Sucks for them more because now
sucks for them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry about it, but
I actually send out like a PDF of what people can wear in the photo.
Yes.
Not like I do talk a little bit about fabrics because I just think some fabrics are just not professional. Like no t-shirts, whatever.
Agreed.
Yeah. But I'll send out like a color board and I'll send out ideas. And it's funny though because like the guys will be like, well, where can I get that jacket? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I found it on Pinterest. Like you don't have to get that exact jacket. You just have to wear something like in this like rhetoric, like something within this like business casual stance. These are like, this is our array of colors. So then we all kind of like look uniform but still individual.
Well, I will give you my date. You send me some ideas.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Will you really do that for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. That would be amazing.
Because I think it's important for everybody not just to be like in black, like I feel like a lot of people do that. Like, oh, never said everyone wear black.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's okay to wear color and even some print and some textures because everyone is different. And like, honestly, what I'm going to wear to work is typically not what most people would wear to work. Today, I matched my dress to my cup.
And you're always adorable. You're always adorable.
Thank you.
So.
I appreciate it. I was going to show you. what do you see in the industry that you didn't expect or that you did expect? Like roses and thorns overall.
Oh my goodness. Sometimes it's just like the disrespect.
just
The
straight up.
disrespect. So, when you call to show a house,
Mm-hmm.
or if you're dealing with a situation, with a contract, whatever, and somebody throws it in your face. Well, I've been doing this for 14 years.
Cool.
Okay. I just started 2 years ago, but I also know that you're not supposed to use that form, and you filled that out wrong, and you used that incorrectly. Well, I've never heard that in my 14 years. Well, guess what? Today's your day. Today you heard that,
Today
and this is
your
what's
day.
going on. Like, I don't. Why fight me on it? Especially if I'm just relaying information, whether it's from an appraisal or a lender. Well, I've never heard that. Okay, well, we got to work through this because you just heard it right now, right?
I think the hardest part for me is like I can even like that scenario with like the superiority of time like is one thing, and honestly I'm not gonna fight it anymore. I used to get really upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
What drives me crazy is like at the end of the day our goals haven't changed. Your seller needs to sell, wants to, whatever. He put a sign in the yard, he signed listing paperwork, like seller wants to sell, buyer needs to buy, agents want to close.
Mhm.
So somewhere in this, we just have to figure out a way for everyone to walk away with a win. Like, and it's that simple. And it's like people will like dig their heels in over like a very simple thing to get around or a conversation. I had an agent straight up not talk to me the entire transaction. Like, no response to emails. The last thing was like, well, the seller doesn't need to sell. And I was like, okay. Like, he wants to, but he doesn't need to. And I'm like, well, we're day 75 into this contract. So you're gonna service the HVAC or what?
Oh my gosh, right? I had to pay for one because the seller was getting divorced, and they're like, they couldn't get together and like agree on anything, and the agent's like stuck in the middle of it. But instead of taking control of this situation, well, they're getting divorced. I mean, well, we can't come to an agreement.
What's the most
That's
absurd
your
thing?
job.
What's the most absurd thing you've had to pay for in a contract?
Oh, shoot. So for this one, it was just the furnace.
Okay.
But thank little baby Jesus in his little golden fleece diaper. So I paid for that. But then, and they're like, yeah, I mean, it's old, but it's still working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, it's everything's working. Okay, cool. I buy a home warranty as my closing gift. Guess who had to get a new furnace?
Bingo, bingo.
Yes. Guess how much they paid for it? Not $8,000. So it has saved our buns like over and over again. So that's something we had to pay for. And then not me, but Chad. We call it the Realtor Education Fund. When you gotta pay for it. It's the Realtor Education Fund. Like, you will never do that again, right? Yeah, write that down. When you have to pay for something.
When I show it to my CPA, he's gonna be like, "What is this?"
The Realtor Education Fund, and it's just where you as an agent have to pay out of your own pocket to remediate something.
We've all had to do it.
So ours was mold.
Okay.
Do we even say that word? That's like a bad word in the industry.
Bleach kills it. It's fine.
Oh my god! Don't scratch that. Take that out.
Don't take it out. Don't take it out. But it does. It's just, yeah.
But yeah, we had to pay for that. But so it was, they bought with us, and in the inspection, they're like, I mean, it should be fine. Right?
Right.
So
then they lived there for 2 years, and they still don't.
And we had to sell, and
they don't remedy it, and then they're like, well, you guys said it would be fine. And
they're like, it's active. And so we're like, well, shoot, so we'll never do that again.
I had a seller. It was a pretty long transaction, like 3 months, because of like closing dates and buy, sell, whatever. I get the call, and he's like, all right, we're out of, shut up. We're out of town. We're heading out. And I was like, okay, great. You guys cleaned up, got all the stuff? And they're like, yep. I'm like, cool. Where are the keys? So far as I know, good as gold. I get a call from the buyer's agent that's like, yo, he left so much stuff behind. I'm like, great. And they're like, my people are going to hold the wire if your person doesn't come and get this. And he, like, left town, had already signed, and was, like, gone. So I had to pay for all the garbage removal to close this deal. I was also selling another one of his properties. I was closing the same day. I get to his other property, same situation.
Monster.
So much garbage dump.
Oh my gosh.
Like 8 hours of garbage removal.
So something like that, I mean, I feel like that wasn't your fault. And I would send that
and just
guy a bill.
because it had been so long, and like at a certain point, I'm like, I'm not giving up. I'm just like, this is not going to be worth my time. This
Totally
guy is
agree.
moving back home. Like, he's probably not ever going to move back to Spokane again. I did everything in my power to make it an easy, relatable transaction for him to get what he needed. I also sold this house like $120,000 over list price. He was extremely happy.
Yeah, mister, you're getting a bill. I'm sorry.
Luckily, because I was at that time, I was also flipping a house, and so the people who did garbage removal, like, they're like, "You've given us great business. We'll help you out."
Shout them out. Who is it?
Yeah, Lilac City Lawn Care. They were great. They also, the funny thing is, like, they had to clean out this other house that I was selling of his, and there was like some good quote unquote shit in there, according to these guys. So like, can we take this? And I'm like, totally. Like,
it's yours.
Like silverware, refrigerator.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. I mean, if you're either gonna take it to the dump, they also left like a trampoline and a ping pong table behind.
Okay.
So they're like, well, we'll like take $200 off of this garbage dump because like now you're giving us all this stuff. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Everything works out. Like, and I also think like what you put into the universe, you get back.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I do. Yeah, that was a huge realtor education fund.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. Learning curves, things that I've learned. Always recommend a sewer scope and explain why and how much it could cost. We had a client that denied a sewer scope.
Sure.
And ended up, it was like $10,000-$14,000 out of pocket. And their homeowners didn't have a rider on it to cover it. So
all I ever say is like, what you guys do in your home inspection period is up to you. If it were me, and what I would highly recommend, just so that you fully know the scope of your home, is radon, sewer scope, home inspection.
Yeah.
And if at any time one of these three people recommend another professional, hear them out.
Yes. Yes.
But I think that's also why you build a really good team of like inspectors that you trust and feel are extremely educated in what they are doing. Like, I love a home inspector that has a background in actual like construction or engineering or
absolutely
something.
Who do you? We need another shout out.
I use Castle Home Inspections with Dan Brower because he's the best. That guy will be on vacation and take my phone call.
Yes. We use Superior Home Inspections.
Oh, superiority.
Because it's superior.
Yeah. No, I think there's when the pandemic took off, like realtors like doubled in size, and same with home inspectors.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a good lot of them now in Spokane.
We know a person that became a home inspector and is not anymore.
I will say home inspectors I feel like are doing more recruiting than agents are sometimes. Like, they come by every open house with like, do you not get this? You know, your face looks weird. Every single time I do an open house, there's like 3 home inspectors that show up and they drop off like a goodie bag of treats for the realtor hosting the open house.
Hey, home inspectors, lenders, bring me a goodie bag. What?
I will like leave an open house and have like something from like a lender that has came by to drop off goodies, like a Diet Coke, and yeah, it's awesome. You're not getting this?
No, Chad got an Uncrustable once.
Okay. It was actually at the open houses. It was in the refrigerator, but just kidding. No, I typically leave an open house with like swag, and I'm like, cool, thank you.
I wish. No. But I did leave my clients some treats in their fridge because I bring a snack. Better pack a snack.
I know there's we hired like a charcuterie girl. I don't remember her name, but she was really cool for a listing that we had. And Courtney Hansen actually ran that open house, and then there was like a ton left over, so she like left them in the refrigerator for the sellers that were still living there.
Yum.
She's like, "You're selling our house and feeding us? This is great."
Absolutely. Like any extra little tiny thing that you can do. So I saw, this is your podcast. And now I'm asking you
It's fine.
questions.
Yeah, no, you can ask me a question.
Hi, my name's Cassie Kennedy, and this, and this is
this
Brooklyn's podcast.
This
and
is
I'm
girl
gonna
talk. Yeah.
kick her head. So I saw you doing your little shopping. You were doing a gift the other day.
Oh yeah. I love. Yeah.
Do you have the same gift that you do, or do you do one specific
every
to each
gift
person?
is curated for the client. It really just depends. It's not even like how nice of a home I sell them. It depends on how nice of a gift they get. It's like how much I can like kind of over time in the relationship figure out more about them.
Yeah.
So I had done a couple transactions with this client, and I kind of had gotten them like things along the way. But at the very end, they're big skiers. They're big outdoor people. So I got them a Yeti cooler and then like a bunch of like ski stuff.
Mhm.
And you know, like, do I go overboard? Yeah. But also, like, that Yeti cooler they're going to use forever. And when they're somewhere and they're like, where did you get that? Be like, my realtor got it. You know? Like, there are certain things, like, especially for a first-time home buyer, I'll get them, like, a basket that has, like, hand soap, dish soap, what are those white eraser? Do you know what those are? Like the Mr.
Oh,
Clean?
Mr. Clean. Yeah.
The white eraser.
Mhm.
Those are so great. Like little things you don't think about. Dish towels, new silverware. Cause like I don't know, like I feel like the first 5 homes I moved in, I had mismatched silverware.
You have to.
So I'll like kind of curate it for the client. I've done some pretty cool like unique stuff. Like I had a family buying a home on property,
Mhm.
and they had a 2-year-old son. So I got him like a Fisher Price like razor, like a 1-seater razor.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure he loved it.
I just like I want something that they will use. So I
Mhm.
don't typically like doing like the bottle of wine and a hand towel unless that's something that I feel like they're really into the kitchen and they would like that kind of stuff. I had a family that was really into baking, and when we were looking for a home, like the kitchen space was really important. So at closing, I got them like a bunch of really cool stuff from like Williams Sonoma and some like different cake mixes and like things that they're gonna use.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the big basket filled with like crap no one's gonna use. I will say like
what's the Christmas, like the sausage and the cheese?
I don't want that. Yeah, I don't want that at all. It's a Hillshire Farm.
Is it? No.
Hillshire Farm. Yeah.
No. It's Casey. What is it?
I will say like the coolest like one of my favorite gifts I ever did was my like referral was buying essentially her dream home that needed a copious amount of work, like, and she really has done an incredible job to it. But I made her a book of like like milestones in that home. So like the first time like, oh, you finished painting the house, here's a gift card to go get your nails done because like your hands are going to be destroyed. And they kind of incrementally went up with like the milestones, like you replaced electrical, here's like a gift card to stay at an Airbnb while that happens. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just like little things, because that was also like a really big journey for her. She was going through a divorce. Like we had become really good friends, and I was like, I want her to have something that's not just like a Carlson and Go keychain.
Oh my gosh.
You know, like
right?
I think these relationships are really important. And if you just kind of have this like copy and paste gift, it's like kind of the last thing typically before, like, of course you follow up and check in, that they remember.
Yes.
Now, I will say sometimes it gets really hard because some people are just not as outgoing and they don't tell you as much.
Oh my gosh, right?
It's like pulling, like, do you like food?
What is your favorite color?
What do you do for closing gifts?
So, like I said before, we do the home warranty.
Yeah.
And that covers them for a year.
Always? You always do the home warranty?
Always.
You never just try to put it on like the 22D and have the seller pay for it?
Not unless we have to. Like, that's our gift, you know.
Okay. And I've done that too. That is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, we do it And it saves my ass later on, you know? Something happens.
It's a gift for everybody.
It's always the realtor's fault. It's the realtor's fault. It's the inspector's fault, right? So it just covers my buns for a minute at least, right?
Okay.
And then if they want to renew,
and it makes your buyer feel like they genuinely care about this home being in a condition to, like, even after closing, even a year after closing.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and then, so that Chad would just do that.
Yeah.
And like a high five, right?
Yeah.
And me, I like the personal thing too.
Yeah.
So, I had one client that she liked the tables. It was a staging item.
Oh, okay.
I called that stager. I was like, I'll give you my right arm.
Yeah, for that table.
And she's like, nope. So I was like,
I will find it.
okay, thank you. I did find it.
Yeah.
And I ordered these tables. I got the tables and they love them. So I'm hoping every time they look at these tables, they're going to think of me and tell everybody that my realtor is great. And then I had one. So like in the beginning, I was saying that 85% of our clientele are VA buyers. So that means PCS, permanent change of station. So they're coming from somewhere else. And are you going to bring with you like all your, no, you're going to throw away a lot of stuff. So for my client, I went to Costco and I got the big paper towels, the big toilet paper.
Yeah.
I got him a couple dish towels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some baby outfits. They had a baby on the way. Baby's here now.
Yes.
A healthy little baby boy. And her and I still like, where can I get this? Where can I get that? And we still like chit chat.
And like there's the 5 love languages, and I love. There's also like the love languages you love to get and the love languages you love to give. I love giving gifts, and so, and I know you do too, because you've shown me like some of your follow-up gifts, and like if I find out one of my clients is having a baby, you get a baby gift. But I think. Are you talking to me, Casey? I think how you nurture and like care about a client is much larger and more important than how many houses you sell.
Yes.
If you take care of people, they will take care of you. Like if you genuinely care about like what they want, like they will tell their friends. They'll be like, my realtor went to all 700 houses with me until I found white countertops and white cabinets and a doggy door with a yellow mailbox. Like if you care, they care.
Yeah. And like I have friends that I'm in the Air National Guard with, you know, that have worked with us, and just like being that person, you know, that can help them with their questions or anything, you know, or find a vendor or something for them, you know, and dear Lord, baby Jesus, please let that vendor be good. But yeah, just I'm the caring part too.
Casey's giving us the red light that we have to leave. So is there any parting words that you have for anyone who would like to be in real estate, that is in real estate?
Oh man. If you want to be in real estate, I would highly recommend that you save up prior to jumping into real estate. So anywhere from 3 to 6 months of expenses, and then add a couple $1,000s to that for your startup.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to pay licensing and all that stuff.
For like the first week of real estate fees, you just like, you hemorrhage $100 check every day to someone, I feel like. Like, oh, headshots. Oh, licensing fee. Oh, licensing fee. Oh, licensing fee. Oh, fingerprinting fee.
Yeah, the super box, this and that. It's just you're $100 to death.
Yeah.
And then people that are in the industry, always keep learning. Like, and you don't know everything.
And do a deal with Cassie because she's super great and fun.
Hell yeah. Do all your deals with me. And just be kind.
Yeah.
Be kind. Answer your fucking phone.
Answer your fucking phone. All right. This is Cassie Kennedy. You can find them at Freedom Real Estate on Instagram and Freedom Real Estate on TikTok.
And Facebook. Yeah, we still have Facebook.
And you can find them at the Synergy Building 8 days a week. Thank you guys so much.
Google and Yelp too.
And Yelp.
I'm not giving you that secret. Don't tell anybody.